Welcome to Eternal Manna, the daily devotional broadcast of Grace Gospel Church. We continue to look through Psalm 55, and the title that we gave for this psalm is The Tempest and the Storm, taken from verse 8, as David is facing a rebellion from his son Absalom. And thus far, we have looked at it under different headings. Number one, we looked at the circumstances of David. Number two, we looked at David's enemies. Number three, we looked at David's deep pain. Number four, we looked at David's emotions and fears. And number five, we looked at David's desire, where he wanted the wings of a dove to fly away and be at peace and rest. And we said that what we need is not wings of a dove, but the wings of an eagle to fly high above the storm and be able to gain God's perspective. Now today, we want to look at David's prayer. The one thing we can say about David is that he was a man of prayer. Whatever the circumstances of his life were, he resorted to God in prayer. He always went first to God in prayer. And that's a very good lesson that we all need to keep learning over and over again. When everything else fails, then try God is the popular notion of people. But no, we don't try the other things. And then when they fail, go to God. We must go to God first. So let's learn from David, who was a man of prayer. So in verses 1 and 2 of Psalm 55, we read, "Listen to my prayer, O God. Do not ignore my plea. Hear me and answer me." These are the words of a desperate man. And he's basically asking God to give him undivided attention. Don't turn a deaf ear to my prayer. Respond to my prayers without delay. And that's how we feel when we go through a difficult time in our life. We want the Lord to listen to us, to give us his undivided attention, and to respond speedily. And so that's the first thing we learn about David. And then in verse 9, he gets more specific. "Confuse the wicked, O Lord, confound their speech." Now, you would recall that the enemy was very good at using words. And that is what today we would call psychological warfare. The use of words to intimidate the opposition. And David is asking the Lord to take note of their words and to confuse and confound them. And that's again a very appropriate prayer that we can pray, especially when words are involved. And then as we keep reading in verse 15, "Let death take my enemies by surprise. Let them go down alive to the grave, for evil finds lodging among them." So what is David basically saying? Let them die prematurely. Let them die a sudden death, surprising death before their time. It's almost like David saying, let them be buried alive, because evil is rampant in their ranks. Now, perhaps you and I may not pray exactly that same way today, but we can understand David's feelings. and he gives vent to his feelings in prayer. Remember, he is talking to God. And to the Lord, you and I can say anything because God filters our prayers. Whatever we say to him, God filters it and then he acts accordingly. God bless you. Have a good day today. Amen.